afternoon. Welcome to the RYLACast, the official podcast of Camp RYLA Rotary, District 5810. My name is Jodie Organ, and I'm from Cabin 8.
My name is Sam Brockett, and I'm from Cabin 2.
Hi, I'm Kiko IV, and I'm from Cabin 3. Go RYLA Riders.
I'm Angel. I'm from Cabin 8.
I'm Chase. I'm from Cabin 2.
And I'm Saul, and I'm from Cabin 5.
All right, everybody. How have we felt these first couple of days?
These first couple of days have been very interesting, needless to say. Very, I don't know. It's too much. It's too much.
For me personally, I don't know. I was a little stressed yesterday going through all the what's it called? Round robins challenges with the girls and then the boys as well with the partner cabins. And it was just stressful because I've never been in an environment with so many so many leaders and, people that have uphold to a lot of responsibilities. So it was definitely a challenge for me, trying to work with different people that have a same mindset and trying to work around that.
I think the round robins, they definitely made a huge change because I remember at first when we met the boys, we were like, okay, they're our partner cabin. We're going to have to get to know them the next few days. And I remember I was freaking out because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say. And I usually don't talk to guys as often. So it was a little more of a different situation for me. But after, I think it was the not round robin, I feel like that was the icebreaker that I needed because after the not, I was like, oh, we're family. I understand these people. That was such a game changer for me, the not. I think that if anyone was scared in our cabin, the not was the fix that we needed.
Yeah, it felt like as we went through the round robin challenges, it felt like slowly, everybody, started to get each other, and it just felt very the chemistry was there because at first, man, when they were yanking us out of those cars, it felt hectic. Some chick was staring at me through the window, pounding on the window, bro, give me the creepiest smile. I was like, am I in a horror movie or what's going on? For real, what that chick said when it was oh, this is a cult. Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. I was like, oh dear God, what did I get myself into?
It's a good cult.
Something that this whole experience is reminding me of, and I know I've said this a couple of times in my cabin groups, it's like rushing a sorority or a fraternity at a big state university. They're all screaming at you, but it's happy screaming, and and everyone's so energetic, and you're gonna meet people and be like, oh my God, you go to this school? Do you know this person? Oh my God, yeah, I do know this person. And just form these connections with people you would have never thought you would form a connection with.
And we know that leadership, that's the main reason that we're here, and this is going to help us get to our goals. So I could start off what my goal is. I'm really hoping to major in nursing at the University of Houston because I heard they have a really great nursing program. And so I know that I'm not going to use every single leadership quality in that job, but I know there's a lot of things speaking up and being more confident and just getting to know different personalities that I would learn about here is going to help me with that job. And even though I want to specialize with taking care of little babies and things, I still feel the things that I learned here I'm going to use for life.
For me, one of my goals would be, especially after this year, I had a teacher in my life who was just, very, very inspirational and a very key part of, my development into the kind of person that I want to be. So for me, it would be education and coaching because, I felt like I owe it now to him and to the world now to make that same kind of impact in someone else's life, like a young man's life or a young woman's life.
What sport?
So I used to play football, but I quit so I can get a job and start focusing on family and school and stuff so I can get to that point in my life where I can be a coach because I realized that, as a player, don't really have a future. And I could also do track because I do pole vaulting too, so it's really fun. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of scary, man, when you get the poles bending. All of a sudden, your feet are up, pointing towards the sky, and your head's looking at the ground. It's kind of weird, but it's a pretty cool feeling.
Nah, the scary part is when the pole bends.
Yeah. I mean, I have broken a few. I've broken 5 poles, so I have broken 5 poles. Apparently, I got too much explosiveness. So
That's crazy.
that's what he's saying. I don't know. I actually have to use a pole that's like 10 pounds heavier than my weight limit. So yeah.
My goal is to hopefully play D1 ball, really wherever. It don't have to be D1, really, just collegiate level. And while I'm in college, hopefully get a degree in nursing also. Possibly become a pediatrician, you know? Because I do love kids, and I don't know. It's pretty cool.
That's very sweet.
That's really cool. You know, an athlete and a nurse. Like, you know, those combos aren't very common.
Following in my mama's footsteps, you know, she's pretty good. She was a cheerleader. That's and so really, I guess that counts. I don't really count it as one, but that's me. That's just me, you know.
Well, clearly your mama raised you well. For me personally, a goal, I guess, of mine, or like what I want to do after high school, I want to go into poli-sci, possibly hopefully, putting it out there, Georgetown in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
I want to become a politician. One of my immediate goals, or, you know, I guess smaller goals right now would be to become governor of Texas, and then my end goal, which would be my big dream goal, would be to become president of the United States.
You have my vote.
Right. Well, thank you. But so I feel like after going to this camp, and I probably want to minor in psychology. After, you know, hearing about different types of personalities, and coming from a background, or coming from a, you know, a home and family of totally different, not necessarily different, but personalities that I had trouble growing up with, and it kind of adopted into a difficult personality for me. I don't know how to say it, but it's very interesting for me. And then going into psychology and then politics, it helps me get to know people as a politician, and hopefully, you know, get to know them as a person and a leader for their country or whatever they do in the government. So, yeah.
You definitely have all of our votes. Vote Kiko like 2040? 2030? I don't know.
Like that.
Something around there. Something around there.
These are you going to go? Are you going to talk about your dreams?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk about. I'll go goals. Okay. Go for goals.
Okay, because I was going to ask something.
Okay. My goals are actually like a little similar to yours, Kiko, but like a little switcheroony. I want to major in psych because it's what my mom did, and I've grown up around counselors and mental health, and I just want to be able to be there for people. And, you know, there's been experiences my high school experience where I've been surrounded by like really bad people, and like being able to spot those red flags, I think would be able to help me and help others in my life to, you know, be able to get out of bad situations quicker. And I plan on attending law school at, hopefully, fingers crossed, Boston College.
Ooh, that's good.
You know, really go back to my hometown and reconnect over there. And I want to like do something with like criminal defense. You know, there's so many people that are put on trial that are innocent. And in my theology class that I do have with Jodie, we were talking about the death penalty and how there's a number of cases of people who are convicted and put on the death penalty that are wrongly convicted, and their trials are just never reopened. And I want to be able to help people like that.
Very good. Very, very deep. And speaking of deep, let's get into these deep shower thoughts.
I actually came across the shower thought a few days ago. Well, obviously before coming here because I have no phone. But I was looking like through this website. I was just like curious. So like, what do other people think? And there was this one shower thought that really got to me. It was like, there's something that you have said, whether you think it was major or minor. Somebody remembers exactly what you said and will probably never forget it, and you don't know who that is. Like, I feel like it could be, honestly, it could be any one of you in this room right now, and I've said something that you remember what I said, and I completely forgot what it was.
Yeah, that's crazy, because that's also one of those, like that saying 6 degrees, or like with every 6 people, someone like knows someone that you know, in like the weirdest way, and it could be like something so small, but it like makes such a big impact in their life. Mine kind of has something to do with that. I moved from Florida, and before I moved, I worried that I was going to, like, betray all my friends because I was hurting them because I was leaving, because this was the longest place I'd ever stayed in one place before because I moved around a lot. And it was, you could be the greatest person in someone's life, but you're always going to be the bad guy in someone's story. It's just, like, it just really stuck with me, so it helped me, realize that, I'm just going to be me and do what I think is best and try to do what that person, I feel like needs, and, hopefully they understand it and get it.
I don't really have a deep shower thought. I'm not like y'all. I just keep it simple.
I kind of want to touch up on that because, like, I get that. And here recently, going back to Sam's thought about it, what she wants to do with her, previous or back. Sorry, with her, friendships that she's had throughout high school and how, she's able to spot red flags. I've had a similar, instances lately, and it's so. And then one of the boards for my, what's it called? The board barrier that I wrote was toxicity in my life. And so it's so funny that people can manipulate you into thinking that you're the villain of everyone's story.
It's crazy.
But it's
those
like.
words have power. That's
exactly.
what it is.
And it's just,
yeah, they always remember.
But you always have to remember that people just are jealous of you. It just because they want to keep your name in their mouth.
Yeah. I recommend everyone take like a psychology class or read a book at some point because I recently did that. And like just like seeing all these things, I'm like, oh, they weren't being nice. They were manipulating me. It's just like a little like moment.
I love the sound effect.
And the thing is, like, I don't know if it's always going to be like that person wants to hurt you. You know what I mean? I think it's possibly could be that person has something deep down inside of them where like they feel like you're the only person that would ever get them, and they don't want to let you go.
Yeah.
So really, how much they care for you can really end up hurting your relationship in the end.
From clingy, like there's a difference between clingy and then like getting manipulative,
and getting manipulative and brainwashing and like trying to contort and like mold you into something that you're not. So you have to be careful and realize. Like,
this actually reminds me of something that my brother told me. About one of his lady friends in the 7th grade. Well, he doesn't call her friend. He really hates her. No, but he says that there's this girl who like really likes him and that she's always around him. And I'm like, okay, that's a little clingy. But like I know like she's young, so like she doesn't know like a bunch of stuff. But like he told me that there was this point where like she was trying to make him like the same things that she liked, and like she wanted like to force him to like change his like the music that he listened to. And then at that point I was like, okay, this is no longer a funny joke. This is not good for you at all. So like realizing the difference between being clingy and being manipulative, like though it wasn't like a personal experience for me, like just being able to be there for my little brother. Like to help him like understand that, so now he knows what to look out for. That was like something that really changed me.
Yeah, understand that you should be proud of being you. You know what I mean? And like Tepper said when he was giving us the speech, it really stuck with me. Is like you can be worried about like everybody else's like thoughts about you and stuff like that, and what everybody else thinks, but really in the end, they all have their own thoughts and what they're going to think too. So I mean, I think you should just make sure to stay true to yourself.
And that's a big thing for me that I also was trying to find as one of my end goal or successes trying to find by trying to break up the toxicity in my life is trying to find out my true self. And for us in my high school, we our Jesuits' job is to develop the students to be able to find their true self sophomore year. And, I was able to, and then it kind of got back to my, self that I wasn't really who I am. But it's just here lately now I had to like re-find out what my true self is and what my purpose in life is to help how I can better serve others and with others. So
I honestly think RYLA is going to be a great experience for everyone to help, rediscover who you are or discover who you are and just, go through like a healing process that maybe you need to go through or like really find out who your real friends are or something you need to cut out.
Okay, yeah, that's absolutely really like very true. What do y'all think is like the proper way to cut out someone out of your life without them going crazy, insane? Because some people just don't know, like they just like they don't understand the signs of you're trying to, not get no.
Funny story. Yeah. I've actually had to like go through that process kind of recently. To like cutting someone out that's toxic in your life, it's hard and you don't want to just go up to them and be like, I don't like you, get out. Like, what I recommend is slowly, like, withdrawing. Like, if they're always with you, like, 24/7, like, kind of, like, withdraw yourself, be like, I need to, like, take time to myself. Like, I'm going to stay at home tonight instead of, like, going out to this party. Or, like, I'm going to try and make new friends and branch out so I'm not with this person 24/7. Just work on yourself and, like, focus on yourself instead of just, like, pushing and pushing and pushing this person.
So, yeah, I actually have an experience kind of similar to that. So I went to a church camp in the summer of 7th grade, and I met a girl that I thought I really, really liked. I'm like, this is the one, even though I'm in 7th grade, bro. Like, I'm 13 years old.
Grade, like, gives you, like,
I'm like 13 years old. I mean, come on, I had that middle school syndrome, you know what I'm saying? I had that, But, and I was really pressured because my parents had the story of they met when they were in 7th grade, and then they got met, and then but really then they had to really explain the story to me that they actually broke up and then met back together in high school. Thing was, this girl was a lot older than I was. She was like a sophomore. Oh. But anyway,
he likes the older woman.
Cougar.
Anyway, so I'm not gonna get too much into all that, but I'm just saying that. We really, really grew close, and we were really, really good friends, you know what I mean? And we ended up, like, talking a little bit. But I realized very soon that, she wasn't the kind of person that I thought she was, you know what I mean? For, like, really. So even though she was a really good friend and a really important person to me, and I really, really cared about her, you know what I mean? I think it's important that if you do really, really care about those people and you realize that they're not helping you be the better yourself. Like Lauren Mangold and Megan said today, like, you got to surround yourself with people that make you better. And I realized that she wasn't really making me better, so I just told her, I really, really care about you, but I think it's best for me and for you if I focus on my family and school and stuff like that, because, it's just, we're not the right kind of people for each other to be around each other. That's
actually, like, really close to what I was going to say. Yeah. It's actually, like, this year before we started summer break. There was a guy that I actually did end up, like, starting a relationship with. And I don't want to say it was the love bubble, but, like, I know how it's like love is blind. Like, there are certain things that I did not realize until the relationship had started. And so, like, it was like a week or two into a relationship and I was kind of noticing the things and I was like, maybe it's a quirk, maybe it's just something that I didn't notice the first time. And then, like, it progressively just started getting worse and worse. And so after a while, I had to, like, get direct and be like, hey, I'm so sorry that I did not see these things before this relationship started, and I know it's probably like your personality, but it's just not something that I am okay with. And so I was just upfront and I just told him, I was like, hey, I don't think I can do this. Like, I'm sorry. I know, like, I hope you know that I value your feelings and I value you as a person, but I can't do this with you. That's what I literally had to tell him. It was hard, yeah, but if it needs to be done, it had to be done.
Yeah. I think this all happens because after it's all over, we all feel really refreshed. We all feel very like we feel very relieved in certain ways, and having this experience has definitely like impacted all of us to really focus on ourselves and indulge who we are as a person.
Well, that is everybody. That is great stories, you know.
Yeah.
That really shows how mature y'all really are, you know. Especially talking in this podcast and just telling all these stories, like that's very brave of y'all. And good job.
Yeah, it's very encouraging.
Well, that is all we have time for today, but thank you for listening. We'll talk back to you tomorrow on the RYLACast.
This is Angel, signing off.
This is Saul Balin signing off.
This is Sam Bruckett signing off.
Jodie
Chase
Oregon.
This is Chase Garvin signing off.
Jodie Oregon signing off.
And Kiko Majano the 4th. Signing off.